walking in the countryside, but it's nice to just be still, and this is somewhere I like to be, sitting here in front of this water. It's like sitting in front of an orchestra tuning up, like an orchestra that's tuning up but never explodes into its full force, because that doesn't happen in our quiet English backwater. We can sit and appreciate the power of water, its size and depth and potential danger, without ever considering it a threat. The water lapping against this shingle shore, with us having absolutely no power to stop it or change it. Its direction of travel, its sound, the way that the sun dazzles off the water. There's nothing we can do to change it. All we can do is stand and marvel, or at least sit and marvel. And that's wonderful, and that's what we're doing now. The world's like that, isn't it? We think we're all that because we can drop a bomb and destroy civilizations. But all we're doing really is killing the inhabitants. We drop a bomb and it goes off bang, and all it's doing is redistributing the soil and the rock. It changes the density, but doesn't change the volume, if you know what I mean. All we're doing is a little bit of gardening. The volume, the cubic meters may change, but the mass, the weight stays exactly the same. All we're doing is a bit of gardening, and we think we're all that. Earth's not bothered about us. It just carries on like this reservoir. It carries on lapping away behind me. No matter what we do, it ignores us. It completely ignores us. It's grey and flat and rippling on the surface, and the wind that comes off it is cold, because the wind that comes off it goes across its surface, picking up the temperature and then driving it at me, standing and sitting here on its shores. And I look across it and I can see the little white horses of the tiny waves as they lap across this captured couple of square miles of water. And it's grey and it's cold, and it doesn't matter about us. It doesn't care about us. We can go around doing what we're doing. We can go around bombing each other and changing the landscape and thinking we're all that, but all we're doing is changing the landscape. All we are doing is making it inconvenient for the people, for the cartographers who are going to come along after we're gone and remap the place. We're giving them a bit of work because we're changing the contours, and that's all we're doing. We're redistributing the soil, just like you go in your back garden and build a rockery or make a bed for growing your carrots and your potatoes in. That's all we're doing, and we think we're all that. And that's what makes the world around us so much bigger than we are, because we can lob bombs at each other, which is very opposite for what's happening today. We can lob bombs at each other, but all we're doing is a little bit of gardening, because nature doesn't care. Do you think when a whole city is bombed and wiped out and vaporised, that this bush to my right here will mind? It will go on. It won't change one little bit. The leaves will keep rustling away like they're doing now. The squirrels will run up and down the trees without a break. They won't know, they won't care. They wouldn't care if they knew, because we are insignificant, because nature is all it and we aren't. All we're doing is a little bit of gardening. We're doing a little bit of landscaping. The world doesn't mind. And that little bit of landscaping that we're doing while man is here in this short period of time is just a couple of seconds in the history of the world, isn't it? It's just a little blip. That's how insignificant we are, that we're doing all these bombing and we're doing this and we're doing that and we're changing the world and blah, blah, blah. Aren't we great? Aren't we nasty? Aren't we vicious? And it's just a blip in time. It will be forgotten. It won't even be known about by future civilizations that come along after we've destroyed ourselves. They might find something and think, we've found this piece of some kind of substance, a sheet that's been made out of some kind of ore that's come out of ground. What's primitive technology? And we've found it. So there were people here before us. They must have been very primitive, probably vicious, probably killed each other, probably did a little bit of gardening. But that's how insignificant we are. And the sooner we learn that, the better we can be. The sooner we learn that, the more easily we can live in consort with nature, because we respect it at all times. We actually realise how insignificant we are in relation to nature, and we respect it, and we don't harm it, and we don't treat it like something we are the significant ones and the nature and the world around us is the insignificant one. How arrogant is that? How mental is that to think that in an area, a planet that's been around for millions upon millions of years or not, depending on your religion or your beliefs, but perhaps it has, perhaps it hasn't, but I believe the planet that's been around for millions and millions of years, just going about its business, with the dinosaurs coming and going, Neolithic man developing and developing all the time, until we have changed so much that he isn't kind of the same being really. All he shares is some part of our DNA, and that's how it will be in the future. People will look back on us and think how primitive those people were. But all they did was share a small part of our DNA. And then they'll blow themselves up and somebody else will come along. And until the end, the sun will die, it will all go, and it will all have been for nothing. So just grab that thrill while you can, while you're here. Give those presents. Pat somebody on the head. Give them a hug. Give them a kiss. Say hello. Spend all your wealth on somebody who hasn't got anything, because it's only money. It doesn't really matter. You'll be gone in the blink of an eye. You'll be forgotten in 2 blinks of an eye. Future generations, you know me. I will probably be remembered by my children. I will be vaguely remembered by my grandchildren. I will not be remembered by my great-grandchildren. There will probably be just a footnote in the history of their family. Who was he? I think there might be a photograph somewhere. Oh, it was that little bald bloke who used to walk in the countryside and talk nonsense into one of those primitive devices that recorded speech. And that's us. That's how insignificant we are. And the sooner we get that into our silly little mortal heads, the better. And then we can all live happily together in consort. Still blowing each other up, because actually that is human nature and you're not going to change that. So go ahead, people. Bomb each other, kill each other, do whatever you want to do to each other, because actually I don't think there's any way we can stop that, because that is just how our species is made. It's in our DNA. It has been forever. We've got civilizations going across the world, destroying each other on horses, on camels, in tanks, in planes, in spaceships. And it'll happen. This will just carry on happening. So we can accept that. Let's not try to stop that, because you never will. A leopard cannot change its spots. We are that leopard. So just carry on. What you've got to do is carry on as you are, but then just try to find a bit of something bright, a spark of joy in a mad world. And it is out there, and I've found it many times, and I'm actually feeling it this morning, because I'm kind of in a good mood this morning for some reason. I don't know why. It's a dull day. It's forecast a bit of snow later on, but I'm happy enough. And I don't know why. Molly's happy enough. Look, can you see in the background there, rolling about? That makes me happy, when she's a happy little girl. Did you know that only between 1% and 3% of the earth is considered built on? Close to 50% of it is actually used up for infrastructure like roads and farming land, but that is still nature, isn't it? That's still nature out there. Between 1 and 3% of the earth is considered built on. That's how insignificant we are, and I'd like to keep it like that. I don't want this earth built on. We're going to have to because of an increasing population. We know that, so we can live with that because that's justified. And when something's justified, then we can justify it. And it's when we do things that aren't justified just for political greed, financial greed, ideological greed. But when we do it just because we want to make people comfortable who had no say in whether they came into this world or not, that is for the parents. None of us have had any say about when we came into this world. So I think then it's not our fault. We deserve somewhere to live. We deserve a roof over our heads. Just as long as that 1.1 to 3% doesn't increase too much. Let's hope it doesn't go into double figures, because if it does, then the agriculture will suffer. We will have to find different forms of food, synthetic food made in laboratories. I don't want that. I want a carrot. I want a potato. I want an apple off a tree. I want honey from a bee. I want all things natural and beautiful. Think about nature and the food that comes from nature. Most of it's like attractive. A carrot's a great colour, isn't it? Honey's a great colour. Honey's a great consistency to feel and to look at. Even a potato is kind of an attractive colour, isn't it? Not many foods are unattractive. So let's keep it like that. Let's keep attractive food that's out of the ground. We're going to have to work alongside nature as we increase our population, just to keep this world. Because even though the world ignores us and the world is bigger than us and we think we are all that and we're not, and one day the world will kick back. We can only destroy it so much. And it's obvious how it will, because we will build, we will divert rivers, we will dam rivers, we will destroy mountains, we will be destroying the ecosystem all the time we're doing that. We'll move rivers, we cause droughts, we move rivers, we destroy the fish that live there, our food source, gone. And one day we'll do that, and then we'll turn around and go, it's all gone wonky, it's all gone wrong, we've nothing to eat. All the ground is like a desert. It's like the Dust Bowl in America. Over here, we've got hedges and things like that that divide the land up, but they also act as windbreaks. And we're taking those away as well. And don't we realise that we've not taken any lessons from other countries who've done that and got on massive plains, and then along comes dry winds and blows off all the topsoil and the overburden, and then there's nothing underneath but clay and rock and nowhere to plant your crops. But we won't listen, because we'll do it again because it's financially expedient. And it's all about money. And it's all about money now, because it's not about money in the future. It's not about preserving the land in the future. Who cares nowadays? All the people who have these businesses, they don't care about the next generation. If all the ground, all the arable soil, all the rich soil is blown away into dust, and it's left, as long as they've made their money, that's all they bother about. And this is happening all the time, and we don't think about it. And I try not to think about it because I just revel in this. That reservoir behind me there that's cold and dark and powerful, and it's got this power to unleash if it wanted to, but it doesn't, because it's benign and it's kind and it's helpful because it's providing us with water. But the power, the kinetic energy stored within that water is vast. vaster than anything we could produce. And we think we're all that, don't we? We really do think we're all that. And all we're doing is a bit of gardening. So where do we get our ego from? It's probably from generations, hundreds of years of stories of sagas and battles and wars and conquests that have been passed down through the generations and embellished a little bit along the way to turn them from nasty, horrible, bloodletting exercises into romantic conquests. So there may be a little kernel of truth in there somewhere. There is, isn't there? History is accurate. The emotions surrounding history are a movable feast, aren't they? Somebody's history, the facts of history can be given and you can read them and you can understand them. But your view on that, depending on your religion, your morals, can make you the goodie or the baddie. Are we the baddies now? So our importance is based on a history of tales with a little kernel of truth in it that may be accurate and maybe not, or may have been changed, as they will inevitably be a little bit changed, because history is written by the victors. And we take history as read and as gospel, and really, I suppose a lot of it is just an opinion by the victors. So whip woo us. History is how we see it, because history is based on opinion as much as it is on facts. So we are, not only are we insignificant in the landscape and in the world and doing a little bit of gardening every so often, we don't even know ourselves really, do we, that well? So why don't we just live for the moment, live in the moment, live for the second, live for that feeling of cold on my fingers now that will be gone later on in the day when I'm home and grasping a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. The cold wind on my face, the sound of the birds will be gone. The sound of a bird that's going to chirp in 5 seconds, after that chirp has gone, that chirp will be history and it will never happen again and it will have passed into history. So live for the moment and enjoy it, just enjoy it. Don't worry about it. There's enough in the world to worry about. We've got to grab every little bit of enjoyment that we can, because the world conspires to punish people who are just doing a bit of gardening. We think we're all that, but the countryside around us is the environment that has the potential to do more damage than anything else, hasn't it? Volcanoes, tsunamis, avalanches, landslides, every little earthquake, every little happening in the world is just there with the potential to destroy millions of us at one sweep, but it doesn't happen as often as it could. And when I live in a temperate climate like this, I think myself very lucky, because we are generally above that. So I'll stick with this lot because it doesn't lie to me. It just tells the truth. It's nothing to hide. It has the potential to destroy me at a whim. If something could happen in the countryside now that could just end my life in a moment. But it generally doesn't, does it? It controls its power. It seems to respect its own power and its own energy. It lets out every now and again, but that's just like a zit. It's like a blackhead. It's like a little pimple bursting, which it has to now and again just to release a few toxins into the atmosphere. And I'm afraid that we are collateral. I'm sure the world wouldn't want to do that if it knew what it was doing. Because even though we are like destructive little ants crawling about on its surface, I don't think it has any malice aforethought to us, even if we have plenty of malice aforethought to the earth. And of course we have, because of the things we do to it. The things we do, the quarrying we do, the mining we do, the blowing up we do, the wars we do it all for ourselves. out of this selfish attitude without taking the world into consideration. We say we do, don't we? We mourn about it, we cry about it, we protest about it, we protest about the mining across the world that's destroying the environment, whilst waving our phones over our heads that contain all the precious metals produced by that mining and drilling and blowing up and digging. We're hypocrites, aren't we, really, at heart? But we're all right. We're generally all right. As individuals, I think most of us are all right. As a collective, we're a pain in the arse. But as individuals, we're all right. We're nice enough. So you go around being nice enough, and I'll just wander in the countryside and sit by the reservoir and just marvel at its power and its majesty, and be grateful that it appears to be benign, it appears to be non-threatening at the moment. What will happen in the future, I don't know. Will the world turn on us? Will it get angry? Will it harm itself in an attempt to harm us? And we have some responsibility for that? I think so, because the world left to its own devices would just go on and on and on until the sun shut down. And it will, I suppose. But we won't be around, somebody else will be around, but it may be left with the scars of what we've done for millions of years until it heals itself. But it will, because we're nothing. We're insignificant. Just enjoy your life. Be good to your fellow man. Love your fellow man and your fellow woman and your fellow they, them. Love each other, be as good to each other as you can. Try not to cock everything up on your way through this brief little moment you've got here. And just enjoy it. Because that's it. It's an epic ride we've been given the privilege of having. So just enjoy it. We will see you on the flip. Peace and love.